But I love obscure anime items, especially the ones from Gundam. I've replicated the Makuba vase last time. I'm actually working on his other vase right now, the one that he plans to give Lady Kisleya when he was killed. It's so good. This is what I made last time. He's got 2 from the anime, so we need to have both, right? There's just something fun about these obscure items, which I find hilarious. I don't know why, but they're funny. Although I should probably work on projects that are a little bit cooler, like the Kusi head I was working on. I don't know what to do with it yet. Maybe I could just add details to it and make it really big. I think that's one way to do it. Speaking of obscure items, recently, LaPlace's Box from Gundam Unicorn is back on my radar. For those that are not familiar with it, it's an object that's prominently featured in Gundam Unicorn. It's supposed to be a very important item in the UC timeline, the Universal Century timeline. It contains the original charter of the Universal Century, and it's drafted in the first year of the Universal Century. It's supposed to change the UC universe as we know it. Guess what? Nothing happened. Which is great, and I find this hilarious, and I have to have it. I know Bandai has released a version of it, and doing a quick search on eBay, it's about $140, and it holds pencils. Yeah, it's not completely unaffordable, just have to pay money for it, but why don't I just make a better one? And you know what, it looks kind of crappy. And the rear end part is not even correct, it just cut off in the middle. It's supposed to go all the way in, so we'll make a better one. The pen holder function is also not a very cool function either, so I think we can do better on that part as well. I know LaPlace's Box is pretty useless, but let's make it slightly more useful. Since I've always thought it looks like a boombox, let's turn it into a speaker for phones. I'm gonna make it into an acoustic speaker. When it comes to speakers, acoustic speakers like these are the most useless ones. They're useless, but I love them. I have a few, I never used them, and now they're decorations. And I think this fits the theme of what we're talking about today very well. So let's get to it. The first part we have to do is to model this digitally. Time for modeling. It's pretty straightforward. And the only thing you have to watch out for is to make sure the opening for the phone fits. And you can also see here the space I left for the charger cable and also the cable itself, where the cable can just go into that channel. Potentially, I wanted to allow all the phones to fit in this hole, so I just want to make sure I space it correctly. The only thing is that you have to make sure your phone has speaker at the bottom part. For the grill part, I don't know about the slab where it has the writing on it. We can either make a sticker for it. I mean, we can always make a version with a sticker, but I'm just going to accentuate the emblem a little bit more in this version. And in the speaker chambers, I made a rounded shape so it actually bounced the sound outwards, as you can see here. Let's move on to printing. There are 2 choices. I can either do resin printing or FDM printing. As much as I want to print it in resin, I'm not going to do that since I don't want to poison anybody. So we're going to go with FDM plastic printer. It's time for printing. I actually end up doing 2 versions. One with a sticker with a slap in the front, the accurate one. One with the indent in the front, the emblem version. So I think both look pretty good, but I actually do like the indent one better. It's divided up into 2 pieces. And now that is done, why don't we try the sound? Not bad. I mean, it doesn't really amplify the sound, but it actually redirects it into whichever direction you're pointing. It's pretty good. And it also actually holds pens, which is dual function now. Now that the LaPlace's Box has a little bit of added function and it's not completely useless, it looks pretty cool on the desk. And it'll look great next to the Mgex Unicorn or Banshee if I ever finish them. I can also probably turn this into a stand as well, but that's a different project in the future. You can even make this a little bit bigger and turn it into a Bluetooth speaker or Alexa, put Alexa into this or something. That version of the LaPlace's Box will actually be way more useful than just this. Let me know what you think, give a like and subscribe. I hope you guys have fun, and I'll see you guys next time.